Hey guys, it's me, Milcah. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry that I'm talking so quietly. The camera is very close to my visage, my face, and I'm, as you can see by the different background, currently somewhere else. I'm visiting my mom, and I wanted to stay dedicated to filming a video for you guys. I didn't get a chance to film a pick a card reading before I came here, and I'm staying here for about a week, so I brought some mini decks. I know, pardon me, I know the setup is not ideal, okay? It's not going to be as picturesque or as lovely visually as my regular readings, but you know, you make do, right? You work with what you've got. Today, for the group selections, you guys, by the way, this is going to be a healing focus for the month of December video. So I usually make these once a month for those of you guys who are new to the channel, and we're going to be doing a little bit of an energy check in the beginning of your group's reading to see if it resonates with you with what's currently going on in your life. And if it does, then this is your group. You can have more than one group. Sometimes the reading is not for everyone, and that's okay too, you know? So also, I don't know why I feel called to say this, but I feel like maybe somebody needed to hear it. If you feel really drawn to like something like May or March, pick a card, like a healing focus or whatever, then you guys should go and watch that video, because just because I'm mentioning a specific month doesn't mean that the message doesn't apply, you know? So just think of it as the current month moving into the next month for whichever month that you guys choose. So for whoever that message was for, I just wanted to let you guys know. But yes, we're going to be taking a look at the healing focus, like what is going to be your material world focus for the month of December, and what divine would like you to focus on healing, as well as what you have the opportunity to leave behind in November. But sometimes this does carry on into December. But yeah, also, as far as the self-plug goes, I do want to let you guys know I do custom crystal bracelets. I also offer personal private readings for those of you guys who are interested. And I also offer custom affirmation songs. Here's a little insert of an affirmation song that I most recently uploaded on YouTube. So here it is. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I let go of my past. I am ready to move on. And now I accept that I know I am enough. Yes. So that was the affirmation song. So if you guys are interested in any of those services, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, which are all in the description box below. I've also started a vlog channel for those of you guys who are interested, and I do have a music channel too. So those will be in the description box as well. But yeah, let's get into the group selection. So today I have chosen 4 Sailor fountain pens. Okay, so for group number 1, you guys have the Sailor Shikiori Grateful Crane. I want to see if, I don't know if you can actually get the glitter. There is, I don't know how close I can get it for you guys. It's this beautiful color. Let me see if I can focus on the glitter. Will it focus? Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of glitter on the cap. Yeah, it kind of makes me think of Cinderella's dress. But yeah, this one is called Grateful Crane, and it's got a very lovely sad story behind it. This is part of the fairy tale collection. And this is the season for this pen is winter. Okay, for group number 2, also, by the way, I'm going to list all of the pen names in the description box below for those of you guys who are interested. But yeah, for group number 2, you guys have the Sailor Shikiori Dragon's Palace. So also has, let me see if we can focus in. This technique seemed to work before. Yep, there you go. Gold flecks of glitter. And this one is called, I think, the Dragon's Palace. And this is also part of the Fairy Tale collection. And this glitter is throughout the whole body. And okay, this is the one that I get a little confused about. This one is either summer or spring. I think this one is summer. There's one other one that's red that I confuse it with. But I think this one is a summer pen. It's got a little bit of staining from the ink because it must have been shaken around. But yes, I can wash that off later. I didn't prepare it ahead of time. Okay. This is also a Sailor Shikiori pen, and this was a limited edition for their 5th anniversary of the Shikiori line, which is the 4-season line, and it's meant to represent like a grain of rice and all 4 seasons of the lifespan of a grain of rice. I think it's pretty cool. You can see the glitter a little bit more prominently here on the clear cap. Here we have the nib. Yes, so that's group number 3. Group number 4 is going to be the Sailor partnership with Yoseka Stationery. This is such a beautiful pen. You can also see the gold glitter on it, but I'm going to do the same technique we did earlier. This is a green bodied pen. It's more translucent than the others. And it's got gold flecks of glitter all over. There you go. Also 14 karat gold nib. And this is in partnership with Yoseka Stationery. What I like about this one is the finial for this has one of the logo, like one of the characters of Yoseka's name. I don't know how to hold it. I don't know what the right way up is. So yeah, so that's group number 4. I'm going to give you guys a moment to choose your groups, and then I'll see you guys at your reading. Hey group 1, so I'm going to see if we can make this a little bit of a quicker reading, to be honest with you guys, because it's a little hard for me to get it for you, but not just for you, I mean in general, to kind of get all the angles right. But yes, this is your group if you guys chose this beautiful Grateful Crane pen. And honestly, I don't think the camera does it justice. This pen is just so gorgeous. I don't know if I can get the lighting to switcheroony. I don't know, but you can kind of see the glitters like silver or white or around the same color as the body of the pen. It's gorgeous. But yes, so this is the Grateful Crane. This is your group if you chose this pen. I'm going to set the pen over here. I'll ring the singing bowl for you guys and we'll get started, okay? Doing it a little quiet because, well, for certain reasons. All right, so we're going to start out with what it is that you guys are currently experiencing, and then what you like, the energy check, and what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November. For you guys off the bat, while I was shuffling, I noticed that this is actually going to be something that most likely will trickle into December for you, so just keep that in mind, okay? But we've got the Devil card. Actually, I don't think I have to put it so far. We have the 3 of Wands. Temperance. The 8 of Cups. You know what? If this way of filming videos works out, it would actually be great for me. 9 of Cups, because that means that I could just take a certain amount of mini decks with me in my main decks. 5 of Pentacles. And if I ever travel or go somewhere else and kind of upkeep the channel, as opposed to worrying about filming everything ahead of time. We have the 3 of Wands again. The 3 of Swords. And then we're going to save these guys for later. So I'll set them to the side here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Give me a moment to kind of see what I'm seeing here. Okay, group 1. I feel like for you, you guys are the group that is trying to change your life. You're really trying to work on new things, get yourselves on track. You've already started implementing new habits, and you're living a life that is a little bit more balanced. At least you're heading in that direction, and I feel like you've already started taking the action to get you there. However, it feels like your past is trying to tempt you or kind of come in or show itself, but I don't really feel like you guys have too much to worry, because I do see the commitment to keep moving forward. Maybe in the past, your past would have lured you in, but I think this time around, like, you guys are more committed to making a shift or moving forward in your life. But yeah, so that's what it feels like here. It feels like you guys are really planning on moving forward, and you have started doing so. Like, you're really looking towards the horizon. I feel like October could have been a bit hard for a couple of you guys. And if not October, then you could have gone through some kind of hard period within this year, and you guys are ready to shift now. You're ready to come out of that place, okay? So that was the energy check, and if that resonated for you, we'll proceed with the reading with what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November. So what you have the opportunity to leave behind, it's interesting because you have the Three of Wands twice. And honestly, this is going to sound kind of like maybe not as helpful, but it feels like it kind of feels like the same message as up here. So it almost feels as though, like, for you guys, it's really leaving behind that past that keeps trying to pull you in. Even though it's hard, even though maybe part of you may feel like an echo inside, or like it's a little hollow or something, because this past used to be I just used this recently with a client, and I think it works for you guys too, this example. But it's like, even if your past was toxic, it was the food that you were nourishing yourself with, even if you felt hungry right after eating, because it wasn't actually nourishing. You're so used to looking at that as nourishment, or the food that you feed yourself with, that, like, since you are no longer feeding yourself with that food, you feel hungry. It's almost like when somebody is transitioning from eating a lot of animal products to cutting out animal products, especially like meat. So usually those people who are in that transition, especially if they ate a meat-heavy diet, they don't feel full on vegan or vegetarian meals. It's almost like this weird transition period where you have to get used to a new source of food, right? A new source of nourishment, a new comfort zone, because those old things don't do it for you anymore. Like, maybe before you would have turned back and tried these old negative habits or gone to these negative people, and it would have at least provided some level of comfort zone. But I feel like you guys are currently in no man's land. So, like, this would not work for you anymore, even if you went back to it. And I think you guys know that, because I feel like maybe you either tried going back previously, like not recently, but before, and you didn't get that same like thrill or satisfaction. And so you guys kind of know, like, it's not the same. So there's no point in going back. I just have to kind of deal with feeling uncomfortable for right now. And I feel like this is more so not about what you guys are letting go of in November, but kind of like what you're trickling into December. But it's like a journey of what you're overcoming. So you guys are heading towards a place of your dreams, okay? With this Nine of Cups, this is fulfillment. This is dream fulfillment. It's just, and it's like you're looking towards the future, but the back feels like a cold wind, because there's nothing behind you. Before, there was a building. And even if the wall was like moldy and whatever, it was still keeping the wind from hitting your back. Now there's no building and the wind is hitting your back, but it's okay, because it's all about moving forward for you anyway. It just feels uncomfortable and it feels a little lonely. Yeah, so it kind of feels like there may be a little bit of a emotional isolation, it feels like, in the month of December coming through. But yeah, let's see what your other cards are. Okay. Give me a moment, you guys. Okay, so next we're going to be looking at what is your material world focus in the month of December and what Divine would like you to focus on healing. So we've got the Five of Pentacles. Put you here. The Hanged Man. The Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I forgot it's 6 cards. Sorry. Then we have, what is this? The Nine of, are these Pentacles? Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. Virgo and Venus. The Six of Cups. What a beautiful card. Scorpio Sun. The Magician. Nope, sorry. Yeah, this is the Magician with Mercury. Then we have 13 to 4, Forgiveness. Heart Chakra. 24 to 7, Presence with the Crown Chakra. Fish. Book. Ring. And as for the final messages, we have the 8th house. Yeah. We have Mars. And you guys actually got an extra card here, which was the... I'm just going through the seasons here, guys. The beginning of summer. Okay, put it here. Give me a moment. Okay, so with the material world focus, it looks like the hard stuff is more so in the beginning of December. Just like I was saying, it's like trailing from November to December, but then it's going to start shifting, right? So I feel like this loneliness is coming through where you kind of feel like you're fighting the wind moving forward. There is this aspect of surrender where you kind of just realize, I can't do anything about it. Like, yeah, it's hard, but there's nothing I can do about it right now, so I'm just going to keep walking, you know? So it kind of forces you into surrender a little bit. And with the Hanged Man, like I was saying, that isolation that's coming through here as well, it's kind of like a deep introspection. But with the Ace of Pentacles being next and the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Magician, it's like after this little period of the first couple of weeks, December being this way, you start transitioning into finally building a little bit more stability. It's like now you have the layer foundation down and you have just put like whatever the I don't know, grout or whatever it is that they use before they put the next brick on. It's like you've laid it on fresh, so now you're ready to start building on top of this. And that's what I'm seeing here for you guys too. It's like December, after the first couple of weeks where you just have to kind of push through, to be honest with you, okay? Like it's just a phase in life, a period while you're adjusting, okay? You're adjusting to this transition. But with even the 8th house, right? 8th house is the material. It's assets, but like long term, okay, like savings. And Mars is drive, it's driven. And even here, the beginning of summer, it's like good times are coming, good things are coming. And in the material world, it's like you're getting these beautiful blessings that are coming in, and Divine is going to show you that you are supported and you are loved. The Six of Cups, this is like Divine giving you guys the gift, the blessing. You realizing that you have the ability to create and be the master of your life. It's like starting to feel good again, you know? like it was unpleasant to trim the nails maybe, but or to trim your hair, right? Because you want your hair to grow, so you didn't want to trim your hair, but all of the hair ends were dead, or all of the hair was like full of dead ends. Sorry, give me a sec. So you guys had no other choice but to trim it, right? So that's what we are talking through for you guys, okay? It's like you had to trim the hair, which is what you were going through here, and maybe you were even mourning the fact that you had to trim it, or like you didn't even have the energy to mourn it. Mourning is kind of strong though. It doesn't feel like mourning, it just feels more like a giving in, to be honest with you. But then you're going to start to see new hair growth, and it's like your hair is healthier, stronger, and thicker, and you were worried about a short haircut, but it actually looks great on you. So that's the kind of, this is a very interesting way of putting it, but that's the kind of way that they're showing it to me. Like December is going to be good. Material world focus for you guys is going to be catering towards bringing in more stability and abundance. And honestly, this, even though this is about material world, right, especially with the pentacles, this kind of just feels like emotionally feeling good, mentally feeling good, spiritually feeling good. Like you guys feel so much clearer, and it gives you the drive and motivation to keep pursuing everything else, like getting more money and all this other stuff. And then what Divine would like you to focus on healing, right? We have forgiveness and presence, fish, book, and ring. So with forgiveness and presence, forgiveness has to do, this is more so, I feel like, the consolidation that you guys are currently working through or heading into the place where you're going to be working on it. And this is the same thing with that surrender, okay? The forgiveness is making me think of surrender. For some reason, and same thing with presence, right? It's like you just kind of have to surrender to the present moment. And I think like that surrender brings in a sense of serenity. And though you may cry a little bit more because you surrender and you feel like there's no way out, like I just have to keep moving forward, right? But that is actually one of the most beautiful things that you can experience, because when you're in that place, you let God in. Okay, and I'm not talking about this religious God that is associated with different types of religion. I'm talking about the true form and essence of God, of divinity, this source energy, this thing that makes all of us exist. Like we are it and it is us, right? That divine energy. And it's like you get connected to this unconditional love, to this potential energy, to this strength, to your true nature, to your soul. Because God and your soul are in the same, they're in the same thing, right? Because they are the same. We are all God and God is us, right? So it's like you guys are connecting to that, and it just feels so whole, like my heart feels complete, right? And I feel like this is what Divine would like you to focus on healing. It's that connection to source. So through the surrender, right? It's like life is not happening to you. You are experiencing life, okay? It's not happening to you. It's happening with you consensually on a soul level, even if you may not see how or why it happened that way. So it's sort of like falling into that mindset, kind of reminding yourself that. And then with fish, this is also talking to me about finding those friends, right? Finding the people that you can communicate with, that you do feel excited talking to, that because you know they say like the people that you surround yourself with are it's the energy that you choose to stay in, right? So it kind of feels like, because like that devil card represented old people, old relationships, old scenarios, but you guys are coming into a place where you're going to start having smaller interactions with new people, and they're going to feel good, right? Because you're now in this place, you're going to be getting into this place. So these connections are going to start feeling good. And it's like God wants you to see, the universe wants you to see that there are people that are like part of your tribe, or there are people that are like-minded, that having a conversation with them is not going to drain you. It's not going to bring you back into the past, but it's actually going to stimulate your mind in a positive way, like with a book, right? With sacred mysteries and knowledge. And this also feels like that integration of the shadow and light sides of you. You guys have worked with the shadow so many times for so many years, okay? So you already know how to work it. And you have worked a little bit on light stuff too. So now you're getting to a place where you're finally getting to experience balance. Okay, so this is that emotional balance too, with the emotional stuff that we were mentioning here, so much with your heart, because even funnily enough, the heart chakra is associated with Libra. It's the scales, right? It literally is the midpoint of the chakras. You have 3 chakras above it and 3 chakras below it, the main ones, if you go by the Ayurvedic 7 chakra system, right? So the heart is the bridge, it is the scales, it is the in-between. And this is like you guys finding that balance, right? And honestly, with the book coming through, it's also giving me this vibe of like just going with the turns of life, because it feels like life is always going to throw little mysteries. You're not meant to know everything, okay? But it's like being able to handle how things come up for you. That surrender that we're talking about, right? Being able to roll with the turns of the road, as opposed to seeing a wall in front of you and going, oh my gosh, this was the road I was supposed to go. Now I can't move because there's a wall, even though I could walk around the wall or climb the wall and then like go over the wall or dig under the wall or like walk around the other way. I don't know how to do that. I just know to move on the road that was recorded, that I had planned for. So like Divine is like, okay, we want you to focus on just going with the flow, right? Because you going into this, you continuing to keep this state of surrender, all of this seems to be about surrender with the heart here, to let in God, which really is also like letting in faith or hope, right? And then here's the same thing. It's like that aspect of not everything is going to be able to be planned or going exactly according to plan. So being able to just continue to, it's like surrendering and saying like, God, you take the wheel, my angels, my guides, my team, you guys lead me to where I'm supposed to be, because I don't know where to go right now. And just letting them lead you. It's that kind of a thing, to trust, have enough faith or trust, or like have enough courage to allow yourself to try to trust in the process, like really trust in the process, not say something and then negate it right afterwards because you're doing self-defense, right? Because if you're protecting yourself by negating the thing because you're worried about giving yourself too much hope, then what you're really doing is not trusting, right? That's the ego coming in. And with the ring, it's talking about the commitment, right? It's a commitment to yourself and to your journey, which I feel like you guys are already doing. So kudos to you guys, because it's not an easy road to take, and you guys have chosen and decided to go on this road. Okay, but yeah, like as I was saying with the final messages here, this is about the long term. This is the long term, okay? And this is going to give you the drive and inspiration. You are meant to be uncomfortable so that you can keep moving, right? Because if we stay in our comfort zone too much, then we don't want to take action. So you guys are meant to like have a little bit of a hot seat at the moment, and beautiful moments are coming in for you with this beginning of summer. Okay, this is just when there's the summer is the excitement. Before people complain about the heat so much, people are just happy to finally be in summer, right? It's like the beautiful time of summer, and it's approaching for you guys. So you guys have a lot to look forward to. Okay, group 1. All right, guys, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. And I'd also appreciate if you guys left a comment down below letting me know how you're doing, just saying hi. I always love hearing from you guys, even if it takes a moment for me to respond. Also, if you guys do enjoy my content, I would appreciate if you subscribed. You don't have to, obviously, but it would really help out the channel. And like I said before, if you guys are interested in checking out either my vlog channel or my music channel, they're in the description box below, as well as the contacts page, like my website, where you can go to the contacts page, or my email in order to reach out if you guys are curious about a personal private reading, custom crystal bracelets, or a custom affirmation song. But that was your reading, group 1. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Okay, guys? Bye. I'll see you next time. Hey, group 2. This is your group if you chose the Sailor Shikiori Dragon's Palace fountain pen. Let's get a shot of the glitter again for you. If it will focus. How can I make you focus? Will you focus? focus. It refuses. Come on. This is a beautiful piece of art. You must focus, please. No, okay, that's fine. You can kind of see. There you go. Gorgeous. But yes, and again, it's with the 14-karat gold nib. It's a little stained because it got tossed around in a bag. But yeah, this is your reading if you chose this pen. I'm going to set the pen to the side. I'm going to ring the singing bowl for you guys. Parfait. And let's get right into your reading. So we're going to start with the energy check, okay, at the top, and then what you have the opportunity to leave behind in November. We have the 3 of Pentacles. I'll just actually hold it like this. The 7 of, the 7 of Cups. The Page of Swords. The Death card. Sorry guys. The Knight of Pentacles. The 9 of Cups. Wow, I love natural lighting. I don't have too much vibrant enough natural lighting in my apartment. Ace of Pentacles, to do, like, film these videos. And then we have the 4 of Wands, and we'll save the rest for later. But yeah, at my mom's house, there's a lot of natural lighting. And the natural lighting is nice. If only I could have this. Can we zoom in on this? There you go, focus. Should I zoom in, actually? I think it's fine the way it is. All right. Okay, guys, give me a moment to see what I'm seeing. Sorry, I just put some wood into the, like, fireplacey place. And when I open it's like a stove though, so like when I open the top, I just inhaled a lot of smoke. But yes, okay. What is group 2 currently experiencing? Okay, group 2, I actually feel like you guys are working on a couple of different projects. Like, you have your thinking cap on. It feels like you guys are doing pretty good at, like, designating your time into one area and then into another and then into another. There's, like, a certain sense of organization where things are compartmentalized as well. So it kind of feels like you're on top of it, you know? Like, I'm getting this image of somebody putting on their reading glasses and then looking at some paperwork that was set aside on the table on this side, and then looking at paperwork that was set aside on the table for that side and keeping them in some separate piles, but, like, getting down to work, you know? It's like there's this energy of like, I don't know, there is a sense of clarity, and I think that's why you're able to do it. But it feels like you guys are, yeah, like, just working on a couple of different things. So it's not all projects, though I do feel like a lot of you guys are working on at least one project. But it does feel like it's also habits, hobbies, things that you're trying to integrate. Like, there's this aspect of doing the work, and it's different types of things. You know, you're not just working out, you're working out and you're keeping a daily journal, and you are eating healthy, and you are working on your side hustle, and you are leading a group or a team or tutoring or nurture, like training somebody at work. You know, it's like all of the above. Or you are also and you are getting a degree in something, or like in school, you know what I mean? That's kind of what it feels like you guys are, like, getting things done and, like, checking things off of a checklist, and then you're, like, looking around like, okay, what's next? You know, what's next? I'm ready, bring it on, kind of that vibe. a little bit, you know, just because like there's this energy of like fall or spring cleaning about you. And because there's this energy of that, like fall cleaning or whatever, it's like you're ready for the next task. And you're like, what's next? And what's next? And what's next? Done. Next. Done. Like that, you know? And death, yeah, the death card isn't really anything too deep here. This kind of just feels like what I was saying with the fall cleaning, right? Like, you know, people say that they clean, like spring cleaning and stuff, but I also feel like fall is another time to do some cleaning for the winter. And it just feels like maybe you guys can sometimes thrive in fall. But to be honest, that's me saying fall for the upper hemisphere of the world. But below the equator, I know that it's actually spring going into summer now, right? So for some of you guys, I guess it is actually spring cleaning. But yeah, this energy of like moving into something fresh with an equinox. Okay, then what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in November. Give me one moment with that. Sorry about the background noise, you guys. Let's see. What do they have the opportunity to leave behind in November? One moment, guys. Honestly, this doesn't even feel like anything negative, and it doesn't feel like something you need to leave behind. This just feels more so like a mindset shift. It's like I'm specifically being shown the transition between the joy and fun summer mentality and wanting to hang out and go out, and then like falling back into, sorry guys for the cut, but yeah, like falling back into productivity and fall. So that's kind of what I'm picking up here. So it's nothing too serious. It's just that shift between fun and like hanging out, going to events. Not saying you guys did that. Again, it's more of a mentality thing, a mindset thing. And then like putting on your thinking cap. So it feels like you guys are more so preparing for something here. So whether it's like, again, taking a winter course or summer course, right? Whatever side of the world that you live in, or something along those lines. There's this something about that, like some kind of productivity, or it's like you're putting on your thinking cap and you're getting ready to like, it's like what I was saying before, right? Like, and what's next? Done. Next. What's next? You know, I finished the paperwork stack. What's the next stack? Something like that. So like you guys are moving into like clean house, clean mind, productivity mindset sort of thing. Okay, that was a little interesting, not the standard, but let's get into the other cards for you. Yeah, this is not the standard healing focus, I will say. Okay, guys, I'm just going to lay out the cards really quickly, and I may have to do another cut, but next we've got Temperance, the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, we have the Hanged Man, the Two of Swords with Libra Moon, the Seven of Cups again, interesting, with Scorpio Venus, Compassion 12-4 with the Heart Chakra, Finances 2-1 with the Root Chakra, the Sun, the Whip, Rider, and then for the final messages we have Capricorn and the second house. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, it's like you guys are forgoing the fun for like, you're like, now I'm working on my career. Like that's what it feels like. There's more emphasis on career. That's why I said like there's definitely some kind of side project involved for the majority of you. But yeah, I'm gonna fix the cards and then I'll come right back, okay? Okay guys, I'm back. As you can see, I mean, I don't know if it's evident, but I think the lighting is changing too. So I may have to finish the rest of the groups a little later, but let's get back into your reading. Okay, so what your material world focus is for the month of December. Okay. Give me one moment, you guys. Well, to be honest, I'm definitely seeing, you know what, it's kind of like similar to what we saw earlier in your reading, where I was mentioning like the thing that you're leaving behind in the month of November. It's kind of like this mindset of like hanging out, doing all this stuff, like what people would, is this a word, equivalent? I think that's a word or something like that, or associate with summer. Like I said, I know there are people in different parts of the world here, you know, so for some of you guys it is winter, but maybe you guys had a winter that was full of fun or relaxation. You know, it depends who's looking at this group. But whatever it is, like the past season, it's like you guys are really putting aside that kind of like being more lighthearted and like I don't know, there's just, it felt more like fun and fancy free living. Okay, like there's a little bit more flirtiness or whatever, like playfulness, and now you guys are getting serious. And so it kind of feels like in the material world focus for December, that seems to be coming through as well, like even especially with the Hanged Man and the Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups. It really feels as though you guys are prioritizing isolation, like even here, right, with the Eight of Wands. It's like all of these other wands are here, but it's this one that is getting this like divine inspiration, and I feel like you guys are riding it out. So even here with the Ace of Pentacles, it's like you guys are getting serious with your material world and the physical world with productivity. Productivity seems to be the main thing here, and it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, I think it makes sense, but like you guys have Capricorn and the second house, so these are all very earth sign or earth energy things coming through here. So it's interesting, right? And with Temperance, yeah, the Temperance is just talking to me about that shift, that like balance between work and play. And it feels like you guys are good at kind of saying, okay, I've had enough fun, now it's time for me to start getting serious. But if we move into what your healing focus for the month of December is, we have a little bit of a different story, right? So we do still have a talk about passion here, and I do feel like you guys are starting to get serious about that security and material world stuff, which is what the finances card is indicating with the root chakra. But the compassion coming through with the whip is very interesting, because the vibe that it gives off for me here is, I think you guys are very good at like compartmentalizing, right? Like saying, okay, we've had our fun, I've checked that off the list, now it's time for me to focus on work, right? But I think to some people in your life, this may come across as a little bit cold, right? Because it's like, it's not just how you say it feels, but it's how the other oh, I'm sorry guys, camera moved, but it's how the other person is feeling too. So yeah, it's kind of like you guys are going according to your plan, but if you're involving other friends or other people in this plan, it's important to keep in mind how they feel when you just suddenly decide to cut them out. This is just an example, by the way. I'm not saying everyone is this like intense or harsh about it, but just like if we were going by that example of like having fun with friends, going out, being flirty, or like if you have a romantic partner, like being with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, or your partner, and then suddenly just like, okay, we spent, you know, a weeknight together, like looking at your watch, you know, like we spent a weeknight together, so now it's time for me to focus on everything else in my life. Bye, talk to you next week. You know, like, though it's good that you're able to compartmentalize in your life, it almost feels like on some level it can come across as cold to other people. It's like just a little bit more consideration of their emotions or their feelings. You know, it's like you guys are okay with sometimes cutting something off instantly like that. Some people need a little bit of like a moment to kind of catch their breath, or, you know, be like, whoa, okay, so we're stopping and then moving forward, right? Just in order to maintain relationships, because even here it's like you guys are doing it on your own way, in the way that suits you. So you guys are very independent, or I think your independence is very big for you. It's very important for you. And that, again, is a beautiful thing that makes you a very unique individual. And this is one of the things that is going to help you guys become very, very successful. However, when it comes to personal relationships, it's like, I think there is a guidance to sort of shift that mindset a little bit. You're not a lone mountain. There are other mountains in the background, you know? So there's a need to kind of remove control a little bit. Not remove, but readjust the way that it's done. Maybe with a little bit more consideration to other people. Yeah, like that seems to be a big thing here, because this compassion is also like you guys having that compassion is you practicing your feminine energy, like working with your feminine energy, right? Because all this other stuff that you guys are really good at, that's more masculine energy, regardless of gender. And we're meant to have a balance of both, right? And doing things so black and white, that's like I said, more masculine. Whereas the feminine is the flow in between, doing it with a smooth transition. So I think it's more of a maintaining this drive that this masculine energy within you naturally gives you, but finding a way to make it flow in between each phase, right? Not just like a next, but kind of like a little bit more melodic, you know, like you're not just taking one stack and moving it to the side. You're doing it in a softer way. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels more gentle or more delicate. And the reason that this is important with other people is because on some level, this is also going to be a way that you show yourself maternal kindness, okay? Because we should be able to be both a mother and a father to ourselves, regardless of our relationship with our actual parents, right, or our guardians. But it feels like the whole being a feminine mother to yourself is sometimes needed here too, for that balance for you guys. So yeah, that was kind of a weird healing focus, so I hope that made sense to you guys. It wasn't too intense. A lot of your reading wasn't as intense as like the last group, and even then the last group wasn't like coming across as super serious intense, but I feel like they had a lot more to deal with. You guys, there's a little bit more clarity, like it's just coming through a bit easier, the reading, and just what you guys are going to be experiencing, I think. But yeah, okay, then we also have, for the final messages, Capricorn and the second house. So these are, again, both earth sign energies, and the Capricorn is our career, right? It is our work place, and it's the 10th house of career in astrology as well, and how people view us in our career. It's the highest point, one of the highest points in our astrology chart. And then we have the second house, which is the house of finances. So you literally have career and finances, right? So again, it feels like divine is confirming that you guys are doing the right thing by focusing on this area of your life, right? It's just they would like you to maybe realize where there could be moments where you may need to be a little gentler, you know, and it shouldn't go into the mentality like these people are not saying that they can't handle you or they don't accept you as you are, right? Like, don't take it as a self-defense thing, like something that brings up your self-defense, right? It's just, it shouldn't only be about how it's convenient for you. If other people are involved, yes, it's important for how it's convenient for you, but it's also important for taking them into consideration, right? Because ultimately another person is involved. So if you are supposed to be considered, they should be too, right? If this works for you, that's wonderful. But since the both of you guys are kind of interacting together, then it should be something that on some level, even if it's just a little bit, works with them too, right? I think following your rules is good for you when it comes to your personal stuff and like your growth and all this other stuff. But if other people are involved, your rules may not always be, or like your way of always doing things may not be the ultimate way of doing it or the correct way to always do it, because again, like I said, it's just that consideration of somebody else or the other people involved, you know, the people that care about you. I'm not talking about every single person that you interact with, but especially the people who care about you. I think maybe just kind of be a little mindful, like, oh, okay, you know what, I was ready to end that conversation, but I think they had something else to add to it on a final note. So instead of just hanging up the phone after I said I have to go now, I could have let them say goodbye first. Right? So something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be a drastic change. It's just, it feels like the little things, right? And this will help you guys be soft, because it feels like you have like a really fiery or like it's a masculine, like I said, energy. So and there's nothing wrong with that. There are all kinds of people, and this is a beautiful thing. This makes a great entrepreneur. And like I said, you guys are on a road to gaining success in your creative endeavors, especially if you're looking to make money. Like, I feel like you guys could be good at making money. If you are not now, like, you will be, because it's kind of innate within you, this drive, right? Like that compartmentalizing, that's really helpful. But finding places where you can be soft sometimes, not in a controlling way, right? Because that's the illusion of being soft, because that's just you trying to be feminine from a masculine, like from the masculine energy's perspective, right? So it's not really being in the feminine energy, it's just doing it from the masculine energy's perspective, which is not really the point. So just try to be a little mindful of those things, right? And again, it's not like calling you out or anything. Some people just naturally have a higher masculine energy, and that's totally cool. It doesn't mean that you have to change everything about you. It's just little things that we sometimes need reminders of, right? Just like feminine energy needs certain reminders too. Like, hey, it's like whatever. They have their own reminders that they need as well, right? So all that to say, yeah, that was basically what I've got for you, group 2. I know it's a bit of a quicker reading. I'm hoping to make all of the groups a bit quicker, because just because you know, I'm not exactly home right now, so I can't just take all of the time to do what I've got to do. But yeah, so that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that it made sense. I know it was a little bit different than what's normal. The cat is meowing. I have to let her in. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. If you did enjoy, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. Also, if you guys do enjoy watching my content, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below, just to say hi, how are you guys doing? It takes me some time to respond sometimes, but that's okay, because I will get to you eventually. Also, if you guys are up for it, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. You don't have to, but it does help support the channel. And also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading, custom crystal bracelets, custom affirmation song, all the ways to contact me would be either through the email or the contacts page on my website. Those are in the description box. And also, if you guys are interested in either checking out either my vlog channel, which is new, or my music channel, those are also going to be linked in the description box below. But yeah, group 2, that was your reading. I can speak. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey group 3, this is your group if you chose this Sailor Shikiori 5th anniversary pen, or 5th anniversary edition pen. Here you can get a close-up. Look how beautiful it is. This is to celebrate their Shikiori series, which is their 4-season series, with the 14-karat medium fine nib. It's very extravagant, shaped like a grain of rice and inspired by the life cycle of rice throughout the year. But yes, this is your group if you chose this. You may notice that the camera angle is a little different and I'm in different clothes. That's because this is another day, so sorry about that, you guys. But I did finish shuffling your cards, okay? And I'm just gonna ring the singing bowl for you really quickly. I hope you guys heard that. It's so funny because I feel like because I'm talking more quietly since the camera's right next to me, this is almost like an ASMR style tarot reading. It's not, but it kind of feels like it is. It's just kind of funny. Okay, before we begin, I just wanted to re-clarify for you guys. We're going to do a bit of an energy check first to see if this is your group or not. That will be the top portion, and then the bottom is going to be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November, okay? Also, when I was shuffling your cards, I felt a lot of clear energy, like clarity, kind of. So that was something I wanted to note. Yes. Let's get into your reading. Okay. So first off, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, a wheel that brings fortune, or the Wheel of Fortune. We also have the Eight of Swords. Oh, I was gonna say, when I don't know if I mentioned it or not earlier, but when I was shuffling your cards, I felt like a lot of clear energy, like somebody who, yeah, like it just feels clear, like almost as if you did some cleaning or, I don't know, like something along those lines. Like there's this clarity, you know, like whether it's a new phase, a new chapter, a new beginning, or you did some spring cleaning, something to do with that. The Three of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Cups. Okay, and we'll look at the rest later. Give me a moment, you guys, to see what I'm seeing. Let me see if I can. Oop. No, that doesn't make a difference at all, does it? There you go. I want you guys to see. Casually, something rolling in the background, yes. Okay, give me 1 second, you guys, just see what I'm seeing here. Okay, group 3, I feel like you guys have been on a journey of self-empowerment or working towards it and working towards healing emotionally for some time now. Like I feel like this is not you guys just starting this journey of self-improvement or healing. You guys have been kind of working on it already, okay? It feels like you guys have been, yeah, I think that's why there was so much clear energy with you guys, because you've been doing the work. So you're clearing yourself out. That's what it's coming through as. This Eight of Pentacles is very much telling me this is somebody who does the work. And with the Queen of Cups, it's like you've been clearing out a lot of emotional baggage and trauma. It feels like from family too, right? Whether it was generational trauma or yeah, like it just feels like whatever the history or part of your culture even, right? Like the mindset of your culture that maybe is not healthy, that could lead to wounding an inner child or something along those lines. You've been clearing that, and you've been making, yeah, this feels like a very specific message, but it, like somebody out there, at least one person, I feel like you've been making waves in clearing out the karma that you inherited through your family, through your lineage, but also through your culture. You know, like shifting a cultural mindset that on some level those kinds of things get engraved in us, right? Because we grow up around it, so we're in that energy since it's a cultural mindset. But I feel like for you guys, you've been working on getting past that. It no longer has control over your life, right? You're like, I'm not that person. I am not part of this like hive mindset of having to be this way just because the culture says that I am, or because my family says that this is how things are always meant to be done, right? So it feels like that's what you guys, yeah, like even here with this Eight of Swords, it's like you guys, normally this person feels very stuck, but you are somebody who does not want to be stuck. Whenever I see the Eight of Swords, I always think of somebody who's trapped, but they can free themselves. But this is the first time, and I think ever, but that I can recall of at least, where I'm seeing this Eight of Swords as somebody who, even though they can't see and even though they're tied up, they still want to be taking steps forward. Like you see here, she's taking a hesitant step as opposed to just being tied with a sword behind her back. It's like she doesn't know where the swords are, but she's taking the steps anyway because it's like anything is better than being stuck here forever. Right? And I feel like that's what you guys are doing. I just got chills too talking about it. I'm very proud of you guys. That's such a big deal. You guys are always meant to be a mover and shaker, but like this is you putting in the work and showing it, living up to who you are. You know, it's incredible. Applause. Quite applause for you, group 3. Okay, so that's the energy check, and then let's see what you have the opportunity to leave behind in November. Let's see. Okay, give me one more moment, you guys. It's so interesting because like these 3 cards are all literally talking about the same thing. Walking away from something that no longer serves you to a place that's better, to a place that is your dream fulfillment, right? Because after the 8 of Cups is the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Wands, whenever I see the 9 of Wands, I always think of it as somebody who stands out from the crowd. All the other wands are behind them, but this person, even here, you see in this deck in particular, he has this kind of like shy, concerned, I don't know if this is the right step, but I need to get out of, like I need to keep moving, I'm gonna keep moving forward kind of look to him, like the vibe by his face and stuff. Like it's a little timid, but it's still the first step. He's still the first person taking a step. Right? So it kind of gives off that same vibe that this 8 of Wands was doing. So maybe part of you guys do have that reluctancy to kind of, for some of you, right? I think a couple, you guys are on different levels depending on who clicked on. Like some people are a little bit further along in this, some people are just beginning this journey. But it feels like you could be saying things along the line of, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I have to get out of here. I have to keep moving forward because I do not want to live this life where I'm sacrificing myself all the time just because this is how my family grew up and all of this stuff, you know. This is just an example. But yeah, that's kind of what it feels like, right? Because there is this timidness, but at the same, it's like, even with this, like this person's back is a little crouched, right? It's like, with a heavy heart, I have to keep moving forward. And even with this 3 of Wands, this is looking forward. This is looking ahead, looking to the horizon, looking beyond this broken wall, and then actually taking those steps. So it's literally like with this 3 of Swords, even if it's painful, even if it's hurt, even if it feels like you're giving up on a lot of family traditions, right? Because there are certain things that maybe you associated with that culture, with that family, right? Like maybe certain holidays, certain traditions, the way that you guys acted on certain holidays, those are still core memories for you. Those are still memories with your family or with your friends or with your people, right? It's just, you know that in order to have this new life, you have to leave some things behind, and it just won't be the same afterwards, right? I feel like for some of you guys, this could be an actual move. Like maybe you guys are moving to your own place. Some of you, for very few of you, could be moving to another country or another state. But if it is a move for most of you, I think it's just your own place, right? It's the same thing here. It's like you guys have to keep moving forward. You need to be able to move out of the house with your family that maybe on some level, though you love them, you feel like they could be holding you back, or you just can't do certain things because you live with your family. You finally have the means to get your own place, or like you finally have an opportunity to get your own place. And it's sad because you're used to your family. You love your family, right? So you still have to, it's like bittersweet, but what it's leading to is something beautiful, you know? I hope you guys get that. That's kind of, I feel like, the best that I can do explaining this example. So let's get into the next part of your reading. Okay. Next, we've got the Mother of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. That's funny, you guys got her twice now. The Four of Wands. No, I'm sorry. This is the Four of Wands. The Six of Swords. Sorry, you guys. Sometimes I confuse the Six of Wands and Six of Swords in this deck. Like, these always looked like Wands to me until one day I realized there was a Six of Wands, so this must be Six of Swords. Which is another card about moving forward, right? This is the Seven of Wands with Leo Mars. This one is the Knight of Swords. At least I think it is. I wish they labeled the Kings, Queens, and Knights. This one is the Ace of Cups. Then you guys have 10-3 with decisions. Ooh, yes. And then 8-3 with self-esteem. You guys can't tell, like on camera it looks a little bit more orange, but this is more of a yellow. It's like closer to a deeper yellow than orange. So this is part of the solar plexus chakra, just like this is the solar plexus chakra. Then we have bouquet or bouquet, but it's really bouquet, right? Because it doesn't have the double T-E ending. We have mountain. We have whip. Oops. And we also have Mars and, oh, we have 3 cards here. Mars, South Node, and Sagittarius. Yes, okay. Well, I want you guys to be able to see these. Maybe I can line them up here. Will that work? Trying. Yeah, it's good enough. So these are the final message cards from this deck, okay? So we'll get to these a little later unless it becomes prominent during the other part. This top part is going to be your material world focus for the month of December, and then the bottom is your what Divine would like you to focus on healing. So give me a moment, you guys, to see what I'm seeing. Honestly, you guys, even here, for those of you who are not moving house, I feel like you finally are getting to a point where you can emotionally, right? Because the Mother of Cups, the Queen of Cups, is emotion. And I feel like you guys, even if it's healing like from a past memory, the movement from there, right? A past trauma or whatever, having to let go or cut ties with people or memories, you guys are overcoming it, because the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords, like the Four of Wands is a celebration. And it's so funny too, because the Four of Wands is it could be associated with a new home as well, right? Because a married couple goes to a new home. So on some level, there's that aspect of home again that I was mentioning. And the Six of Swords is also like that hope at the end of the rainbow, right? Like after a rainstorm, you can see a rainbow sometimes. But it's like something beautiful comes after something turbulent or after something chaotic, and something beautiful is coming. That's where you are heading to. There's this beautiful movement with this Six of Swords. As far as the Seven of Wands, and the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, there's a lot of emphasis of the fact that this is emotional for you guys, with the Queen of Cups coming in twice, and then the Ace of Cups with this, which is this new emotional beginning, right? I feel like you guys have been working on opening your heart to love, not just romantic love, but love in general. That was part of your self-worth. You were like, I do not want to be like one of these people that keeps sacrificing themselves and turns passive aggressive because they don't know how to communicate what they want and what they need. I don't want to be that person, you know? I want to live with an open heart, and like you guys are actually heading there. You are going towards that. I see that for you. With the Knight of Swords, it's like you guys are going to be communicating, you know? You are communicating to have this new emotional beginning, right? You are more empowered. You are not going to be blocking yourself off because of the past. Like you are doing the work. You're doing incredible stuff, you guys. Whatever you're doing, whatever you have the idea of doing, keep doing it. You're doing very well. With decisions and self-esteem, I mean, look, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So it kind of feels like even here, there's still a little bit of, though you've set your mind to it, just like we were mentioning. Can you stop moving, please? I guess maybe they're trying to tell me that, yeah, you see it keeps moving. I think they're trying to say that the decision is tied with your self-esteem on some level. Maybe you don't realize it, but I think on some level, because the reason I said Rome wasn't built in a day, remember how we were talking about how it's like tentatively moving forward, like almost like, I don't know, but I'm gonna keep moving forward because I can't stay here. Or even if it's not an I don't know, like there's fear, or there's a little bit of, yeah, there's a little bit of fear there, right? Or anxiety or anxiousness, uncertainty, because you're heading into an uncertain place, because it's different, it's change. So with decisions and self-esteem, I feel like that's really what they're talking about. What Divine would like you to focus on healing. It's just trusting yourself. Like whenever you make a decision and you start walking forward, do it not tentatively. Do it bold with your chest out. Like, I made a decision and I'm gonna keep going, right? Because even our mistakes, you could say on some level, are pre-planned. They're part of our lessons, right? So don't worry about making a mistake or the wrong move. You can always make a new choice if it doesn't work out. So when you make a choice, when you take your decision, go do it boldly, right? Do it with more confidence. Do it more empowered. Because you deserve the best. You know that. You know that consciously, that you deserve better. So you also deserve it. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry, you guys. But yes, oh man, I hope that wasn't too loud on camera. Sorry, earphone users. I'll see if I can edit the sound if I remember to do so. But yeah, even here with bouquet, this is about receiving a gift. What Divine would like you to focus on, receiving, right? Receiving. And then with mountain and whip, whip is being too hard on yourself. It's still having that like, it's almost like somebody who is a perfectionist, right? And before, maybe, I'm not saying this is you guys, this is just an example to give you an idea about whip, but it's like somebody who's a perfectionist and they weren't sure how to keep moving forward. And so, they were a perfectionist and they were so hard on themselves because they're a perfectionist, right? So even though they're creating beautiful, beautiful things, they're still being hypercritical of themselves, even though they're doing the right thing or taking the next step or taking action, because there's this mindset that you have to be better, you have to do better, which again, part of the cultural thing that you guys are leaving behind, the family thing. So I feel like, don't put so much pressure on yourself, you guys. Just like there's this pressure or anxiety around, did I make the right decision? Is this the right move for me? And all this other stuff, right? You don't have to, it's like, it's almost like they're saying, don't take it so seriously. Like, be a little lighthearted, be a little more at ease. Stop and smell the flowers, you know? Don't think about it as just moving forward, like unclench your hands a little. You're doing good, you're doing fine. It's a long journey for you, okay? It's a long journey. So you don't want to be going in there with this kind of a mindset. It's okay to stop and smell the flowers and to keep moving forward with your chest out. There's nothing to be intimidated about or insecure about or feel like you need to be a certain way in order to prove to them that, like, I made the right decision. You don't have to prove to anybody that you made the right decision. You made the right decision, that's it, okay? And then as far as your final message with Mars, South Node, and Sagittarius, I think this is so interesting that your South Node is here because we had so many things that are talking about you moving on from your past. Sorry about the lighting being dim, you guys, by the way. I'm using natural lighting, so it's kind of cloudy out. And it started getting dark earlier. But yeah, so with Mars in the South Node, which is like your past way of doing things in Sagittarius, which is, again, like an arrow moving forward into new adventures, into a new beginning, into another chapter, into, yeah, new adventures. I think I just said that, right? It's travel, it's constant movement, it's going upwards, right? This arrow. So I feel like the past has served you enough, so there's no need to look back. You know, it's okay to get nostalgic, but you guys are on the right track. You're doing the right thing. You don't want to keep carrying your past for the rest of your life. It doesn't mean forget it. It just means to let it go, because you can never fully let go. Like, you can never fully forget your past, right? Because how can you do that? That's a part of your memories. You shouldn't block out your memories. It's a part of what made you who you are, but it shouldn't have a hold on you. So I don't know, there's something along those lines. This one's a little, I feel like that was for a particular person. So if you guys felt like that was for you, please let me know in the comments, because I know that was a little bit of a, I don't know, something about that felt like a bit of a shift from the rest of the reading. But let me see if I'm getting anything else with these final cards. Yeah, I'm not really, apart from what I mentioned with the Sagittarius being forward movement from, because this was actually the last card, so you would put it here, forward movement from the past. So here, I'll put it there for you guys to get it. But yeah, it's like forward movement from the past, from the way things used to be, from the way that you used to just allow or accept certain things, or kind of give in to certain things because that was the way that it was done, and just getting upset or angry about it. It's like you no longer need to stick, you don't have to stick around to get upset or angry. You can just keep moving forward, right? You can step out of those. You're not a kid anymore. You can walk away from that kind of a thing. So yeah, that was a little bit of a weird ending. Actually, here, let me leave this for the outro. But yeah, sorry you guys about the weird ending, but that was your reading, group 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Also, obviously you don't have to, but I would appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel, as it does help out the channel. And if you guys are interested in a personal private reading, a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email on the description box below. I also have an Instagram, NutAeum. I also have a Milcah38 Instagram, and I have a vlogging channel now, which I'm going to be posting things other than just vlogs, but I think everything else that wouldn't go on such a channel as my tarot channel. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, it'll be in the description box below, along with my music channel. And yeah, that's it for today, you guys. Okay, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, group 3. I'll see you guys next time. Hey group 4, this is your group if you chose this beautiful Yoseka Origin Home Fountain Pen, which was a partnership. I wanted to untwist it, but this was a partnership with Sailor. Look how beautiful it is. Oh my goodness. The camera is doing so much better at focusing on this. There's the nib. Medium fine. What is this? No. Oh, high fine? I don't know. This says medium fine, but that's not true. This is a fine nib. I think this is like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I'm going to set this to the side here, you guys. I just finished shuffling your cards. Also, if you notice the change in lighting and the change in clothing, it is another day and it is a little too dark for me to use natural lighting at the moment. So we're going to start out with the, what is that word? Oh, the energy check. And then we're going to see what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November. So we've got the Two of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Death card, the King of Wands. Oh, okay. The Ace of Wands. Let me see if I can move this up actually, so you guys can get all of the cards in frame. Or like this. I don't know. There we go. The Magician. Interesting. You also have the Queen of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. Or as we say on this channel, Pentacles. So we'll get into the other cards afterwards. Give me a moment, you guys, just to see what I'm seeing. Okay, sorry guys, it's taking just an extra moment here. You know what, you guys? When I saw this King of Wands card, I got a headache. And now that I'm looking at your cards, I feel like so tired. Like my body is fine, but it feels like my mind is so tired that I can't think straight. So I think that maybe that could be what you guys are experiencing here, because it just came out of nowhere, especially after I saw this King of Wands. Okay, so, and this Two of Swords for some reason is giving me like a vibe of, I don't want to say anxiousness, but there's just something here, like it's just, I think it's a little hard to make a straight decision. Even if you guys do make a decision, you're like, I don't care. It's, I don't know, there's something here that feels like very, it kind of feels heavy, okay? Like I feel like you guys are working hard. Like there's this energy of possibly being tired. Maybe you're overworking yourself. Maybe in addition to working, you're also stressing. And because of that, it's like, it doesn't feel like you guys are getting adequate rest. Even if you're sleeping, it doesn't feel like it's really fully rejuvenating you. It feels like you guys have a lot on your plate. Like whether it's energetically or, I don't know, like it's weird. It's as if you guys have a lot on your plate, but for some of you, I don't think that you actually do. But it just feels like there's a lot of pressure. It's maybe not, maybe it's not physical stuff, but like maybe it's mental stuff and like planning and preparing or something along those lines. Because this this King of Wands, makes me think of a couple of different combinations of things. One of those things being you guys having to be the ones who are planning or doing or whatever, but at the same time it also feels like on some level like somebody else is involved. So maybe you're overwhelmed because you're not just doing all of this stuff for yourself, but you're doing it on behalf of somebody else or because somebody else is putting pressure there. So it's exhausting, whether it's at work or at home. Like there's this just mental drainage that I'm kind of getting here. Just kind of like a, almost in quotations, like I don't have the mental capacity to keep going, but I have no choice but to keep going. But, or if I don't do it, who else will, something along those lines. But yeah, if you guys are kind of feeling like that, or if you're resonating with that, like mental, it's kind of hard to pinpoint because I think maybe this is a general reading. So I think it could be different for a lot of you guys, but that's kind of the gist of what I'm getting. So if that resonated, then this is your reading. If not, maybe try another group, or there is a chance that maybe it would be another video, another healing focus video. If not the next one, then something from the past. Okay. But yeah, let's proceed with this one. So what do you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November? Okay. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, it makes me think about what I was mentioning about other people. Like, whether it's getting stuff done for yourself, but also getting stuff done for other people, or like certain projects that you're responsible for, something along those lines. Because with the Six of Pentacles and the Magician card here, this is making me think, like with the Magician, this is the master of all the elements, all the suits, right? So somebody who's in charge of it all. And same thing with the Six of Pentacles. This person is the one giving out the donations, giving out the extra, right? So it almost feels like something you guys can leave behind in November, or you can start leaving behind, is these things, like taking on all of those responsibilities. Maybe there are certain things that after this project is done, or after you finally do this, or after you finish doing this to help somebody, where you can start saying no, or you can kind of turn it back to you. Because it feels like this is mainly the thing that you guys have the opportunity to leave behind. And then having the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Give me one sec with these two. Yeah, it kind of feels like, I don't know, it just feels like there's a little bit less responsibility. So again, this kind of ties in with that responsibility and managing / handling things. I don't know if you guys are starting a business and so you have a lot of responsibility because of that. Maybe you have employees too for a couple of you guys. So it's like a lot to handle. But I feel like maybe you're heading towards a place where there's a way to time manage better, or to kind of not go as hard or as intense moving forward for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see if we can get more info on it when we get into the material world focus for December. Oops. Okay. So next up we have, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. Okay, we have the four, oh, it's upside down. The Four of Pentacles, the Father of Swords, which is the King of Swords, the Son of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. Interesting. A lot of swords. We have the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo and Venus, or Venus and Virgo. The Chariot. Ooh, I don't use this deck often, so it's cool that they are different felines. There's a lion and a panther. But there we have Cancer. Now, oh, this is a personal like this is an extra addition to the deck by the creator, and I think this card is called Void or something. Interesting. I've never, like I said, I don't use this deck often, so I don't think this has ever fallen out before, but I'm not sure. Then we have 20 to 6 psychic abilities. 7 to 2 relationships. It's interesting that we have the crown chakra card here, right? Because the crown chakra, we were talking about your mind, like in that mental exhaustion and stuff. But then we also have relationships, and we were mentioning other people. Then we have fish, bear, mice. The working overtime, working a lot, working hard, kind of overwork. Yeah, okay. Then this is, oh man, I haven't used this deck in a while, so I forgot the phases. Give me one sec. I believe this is the waxing crescent, and the waning gibbous. Okay, we'll set these here. These are the final messages, actually, like this. Okay, give me a moment, you guys, just to see what I'm seeing here. Oh, by the way, this is the material world focus for the month of December, and this is what Divine would like you to focus on healing. Oopsie. In the month of December. Yeah, with the material world focus, with the 4 of Pentacles, this is kind of somebody who like reserves their energy, reserves their time. So that's what we're, and even here, right, with this 9 of Pentacles, when I showed it to you guys, this person is leaning, or they're laying in a hammock, right? There's more relaxation. Chariot is forward movement. So I feel like in December, the material world focus is more so on rejuvenation and kind of, it's not that you no longer have any tasks. It's just, it feels like there's less because you're only handling your own. Okay, so because with the 4 of Pentacles, that is like, usually you can see, I don't know if I can find it really quickly. No, okay, that's fine. But usually it's like a man sitting on a chair, or a king on a throne with a crown, and he's what's it called, holding his coins, you know, to close to himself. He's protecting it, right? He's like, these are mine, my coins. And usually whenever I see that, I think of it as kind of like retaining energy, retaining your that's so funny. I heard the word mana as like magic in video games or something, like their mana power. But yeah, that's kind of how it feels, like just retaining your essence, right? Kind of self-preservation. With the Father and Son of Swords, so the King and the Page of Swords here, it's almost like there's clear boundaries, or like if it is work related, then you'll be like, you'll write an email response with, I don't know, like this just feels like the communication of you guys being able to maintain this time to relax or whatever. It's almost like, well, like for example, if it was work and you guys were being overworked because they didn't have somebody to do a certain job, and then you were somehow tasked with doing that job, and they're like, you'll only do it until the end of November, and now it's December and people are used to coming to you since you were the person responsible or whatever. Well, now that that person that they hired is more, you know, like understanding of how things work, you're like, well, I'm not the person in charge of that. They hired somebody for that, so you can refer it to them, you know? So there's almost like a feeling where it kind of feels good to just be like, not my job, pass it on, you know? And then you just kind of lean back in the chair like, this is good. So that's kind of what it feels like. I know that was a very specific example because it's not always going to be work related for all of you guys, but it just feels like you are kind of in December preserving yourself a little more so you can be more like this is not my responsibility, or, you know, you have this problem with, like, if it's, say, for example, like, your parents maybe, right, are like, oh, well, or like, say your mother and your aunt or something, right, are having problems, and then your mother is like, I don't know what to do or whatever, and you're like, ask dad, I don't know. You guys are the adults, or you're older, or like, I don't know, I don't spend time with aunt very often, so I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, something along those lines. It's like, whatever it is, it kind of relieves you from it, you know. So it feels, yeah, I think I've said the same thing like 5 times already. And as far as this void card, with this, it's more like, next to the Chariot, it kind of makes me think of the Chariot with that balance of the yin and yang, right? So you have that dark and the light here too. Yeah, I think like before you were overworked, and now it's coming into balance. Okay, and then what Divine would like you to focus on healing. So, 1 second. With fish, this is making me think of delegating, because whenever I see the fish, I think of communication. But it kind of feels like delegating here. And then the bear, which is usually more isolated, right? Yeah, I feel like you guys are already working on it. It kind of gives off, this bear is giving off this energy of your material world focus in December. It's kind of like delegating tasks, as opposed to being like, because the mice card represents lack, and so they work extra, they work overtime, right? So yeah, it kind of feels like that. It feels like not just pointing people at, like, being like, oh, well, that's their problem or whatever, but it's more so like when you need help, asking for help. Though again, I feel like a couple of you guys, I feel like you guys are already doing that. Let me get some clarifiers, okay? Give me 1 sec, you guys. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel I need clarifiers for your group. Fell on the floor, but you guys, look what it is. It is justice, which is that balance again. So it's so funny, because that's, I guess it was what I was saying, right? That's what I was saying. It was the balance, even with this void card, for you guys, between what is meant to be your responsibility, what you can delegate. Yeah. And I think fairness comes into play too, with what is fair for you, right? Because it's not fair for you to kind of shoulder all the responsibility, even if it is about like your own business or something, you know. It's like you can delegate somebody to handle that, that area or that category, right, of stuff, if it's kind of not something that's necessary for the boss to handle, right? So it's something along those lines. Wow. Let me see what else I'm getting here. Yeah, even here, it kind of just, even with, I guess maybe I'm having a little bit of a hard time because I'm trying to look at it as a more deep emotional kind of thing, but it doesn't feel like it's very deep and emotional. This just kind of feels like knowing how to use your relationships. I don't want to say to your advantage, but like knowing who can help you and who cannot, and utilizing those people. That sounds very cold, and I think that's why I was avoiding saying it, and I was trying to see if there was something else that I could say, because it feels like it's coming across as kind of cold. There's not so much emotion behind this. But you know what? If this is like business, for example, business is business, right? Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know why it's coming across as so like void of emotion, but maybe that's what it is that you guys actually need healing on, is that balance between taking on all responsibility and being able to delegate to certain people. Because yeah, you're not supposed to be, it's not that you can't handle it. Like, you can make it manage, but you don't have to be tired. Like, you have this certain, like if it is with the business, you have the freedom of having your own business for a reason. You know, and it's to most of the time people do it because they don't want to be a slave to like corporate of whatever country they're from or whatever it is. They want more freedom, you know. But if you're going to be doing everything on your own, which I think you guys already know all of this too, which is another reason why it feels kind of redundant to say, but in order to have that freedom, you're going to need to delegate. And I feel like that is something that you guys are already naturally, like I said, this is something that you're already doing in December, it feels like. And yeah, like they want you to focus on healing that, but it's not even really a healing. It's more so like I think that's another reason why it was a little hard to kind of pinpoint here, is because it's not healing. It's more of like a logical or mental focus. Yeah. Interesting. There's a lot of logic here. I'm wondering if you guys are very logical people, or if you're the complete opposite of the spectrum where there could be a lot of emotions. And so the way that things are being presented to you is in the most logical way. But I'm betting that, I don't know, could you guys let me know in the comments, would you consider yourself a very logical person? Or is it the opposite where you're like, I don't know why there's so much logic because I'm pretty emotional. So maybe that's what you needed, was the logical approach. I don't know. But yeah, let me know, guys. But yes, let's look at your final messages. So the waxing crescent and the waning gibbous. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So with the waxing crescent, this is just the beginning stages of getting to a full moon. And then the waning crescent is like, it's not the ending stages of something coming to a completion, but it is like the process of it beginning to come to a completion. So I feel like this has to do with what we were just talking about. This is the beginning phase, like December is the beginning stage of you finally kind of getting to this goal of not having so much pressure and stuff on you, and like having to have you doing all of this stuff, whatever we were just talking about, right? Where everything was kind of on you, or there was a lot of mental pressure on you. It's like this is the beginning of that ending. It's the next chapter of you kind of finally having this a little bit more leisure, or you can kind of take it doesn't even feel like a break, but it's kind of like a step back, because you're not overdoing what is beyond what you should be doing. It's like everything is still being kept in check, but now it's a little bit, it's like it feels easier. So like that is the new beginning. And then what's ending here is where people kept turning to you. Yeah, so it just feels like it's confirming that. Wow, you guys. That was a very, that was basically it for you. Oh, group 4, I think I forgot to ring the singing bowl for you. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, that was, that was your reading. I'm sorry if it was a little weird. I think I'm not used to this kind of thing. You know what it is? I've had this experience with like private clients as well before too. I think when somebody has a little bit more logical or analytical energy, right? It can be a bit harder to do a read, because there are naturally some defenses, like with personal clients, right? Like there are naturally some walls around their mind, right? They're like trying to speculate. So it can be a little harder to do a full read, because it's not like a free, or it's not like a surrendered energy where they kind of just allow themselves to be an open book. So it kind of feels like that here a little bit for you guys too. So I'm wondering if it's just again, let me know, guys. Are you more rational? Are you more analytical? Yeah, there's a bit of a mixed bag. But yeah, I'm sorry for this weird ending group 4. I hope your reading was okay. And thank you guys for stopping by. You know, if you did enjoy this reading, or if you did feel like it resonated, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Please answer that question if you guys are up for it. Are you more rational, or are you more on the emotional? And do you rule more so with logic? You know, would be it, my friends, would be it. Also, if you guys are up for it, obviously you don't have to. I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, as it does help out the channel. And if you're interested in a personal private reading, a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, feel free to reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email on the description box below. I've also got a vlog channel now, a new vlog channel, as well as a music channel. And if you're interested in checking out any of those, they're also listed in the description box below. And I'd love to see you guys there. But yeah, that was it for your reading group 4. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending you guys so much love. So much light. And I'll see you guys next time. Be blessed, my friends. Bye, group 4.